The order echoed across the silent hall like a slap. "Take off the uniform," the officer barked. Gasps rippled through the crowd of recruits, their whispers sharp as knives in the thick air. She stood there, rigid, the fabric of her jacket clinging to her, as if it too understood what was at stake. Her heart pounded against her ribs, but her face betrayed nothing. To strip her uniform was to strip her dignity, her identity, and yet refusing could mean exile. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Her name was Elena. To most, she was just another quiet recruit. Pale eyes, steady hands, a soldier who obeyed, but Elena carried secrets stitched into her very skin. Shadows of a past she never spoke about. As the officer's command hung in the air, her mind spun. Memories surged: a blazing night, comrades falling one by one, and the haunting mark burned into her flesh, a tattoo that wasn't earned through choice, but through survival. The recruits shuffled uneasily, sensing something was wrong. The officer, tall and smug, smirked as though exposing her would bring him glory. Elena's fingers trembled as they reached for her collar. Every button seemed to echo with the weight of the years she had fought to bury. The room dimmed in her vision. She heard not just the shifting boots around her, but the thunder of a battlefield long past, screams woven into the silence. She hesitated. She thought she'd left that life behind. She thought no one here would ever see. She was wrong. The jacket slid from her shoulders, and the moment it did, the hall froze. Gasps sucked the air from the room, leaving a silence so heavy it pressed down on every chest. Across Elena's arm, etched deep and dark, was a symbol, a tattoo feared across borders, whispered about in war stories like a ghost. It marked her as someone who had stood face to face with the most ruthless enemy, and lived. The officer's smirk shattered, his mouth opened, but no words came. Around him, the recruits who had once doubted her courage now stared with wide-eyed awe, some stepping back as though the ink itself carried fire. The whispers grew: "That's impossible. No one survived them." Inside Elena, shame and pride wrestled. She hadn't wanted this. The mark was a scar, not a badge. But to them it was proof that she had walked through a storm that most never returned from. Then came the moral weight. She saw it in their eyes. Should they fear her, or honor her? Was she a danger, or a living testament of resilience? Even Elena didn't know. The officer tried to recover, his voice cracking. This doesn't change the rules, but his words rang hollow. The crowd no longer belonged to him. They belonged to the story branded into Elena's skin. And then the unthinkable happened. One by one, the recruits began to stand taller, fists pressed to their hearts, a silent salute. Their movements, unspoken yet unified, rolled across the room like a tide. Even those who once mocked her cheap boots, her silence, her scars, now they saw her for what she truly was. Elena's throat tightened. For the first time, the mark she had hated became something else. Not a chain, not a curse, but a bridge. A reminder that survival can carry its own kind of honor. Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And in that hall, where she had once been ordered to strip away her identity, she realized something profound. Sometimes the very scars meant to break us become the light that others follow. Thank you for listening. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this one. After all, every scar has a story, and every story deserves to be told.